Hello, welcome to today's immigration tidbit. I get several clients that are on TPS, that's temporary protected status, and they want to know if they still have to go to their court hearings. So first and foremost, understand that if you are not at your court hearing without a specific court order, you don't have to be, you will get an order of removal in absentia. Okay, so the initial answer to that question is yes, absolutely, positively, you must go. Sometimes people think, well, I've got an attorney, so I don't have to go. The attorney will go. That's not the case. I've had cases where I've had to wait until the very last person is in the entire courtroom to make sure that client showed up, and if not, then the judge issued the order of removal in absentia. That doesn't mean there's not things you can't do to reverse that, but why put yourself in that position? So there's a lot of countries around the world that have TPS these days. The United States will give TPS to people from countries that are suffering from natural disasters, like, for example, Hurricane Mitch, in Central America, that allowed the people from that country to get TPS, civil strife, and really, really bad civil unrest. Sometimes that will give the U.S. The ability to give TPS. So TPS is exactly what it sounds like, exactly what it means. Temporary protected status. It means if you're on TPS, you won't be deported. But by the same token, it doesn't mean that you don't have to go to your deportation proceedings either. If you're being represented, then what your attorney should do, if you have a TPS order, is to put the case on administrative, to administratively close it. Okay, what that means is that the court still retains jurisdiction over you, but for the meantime, while you're on TPS, the case will stop. There is a difference between administrative closure and termination. Termination is the end of the case. No more. Judge doesn't want to see you anymore. That's that. You're not going to likely get termination if you have TPS. You're just going to get administrative closure. So what you would do is your attorney would make a motion to administratively close the case while you're on TPS, because they can't deport you while you're on TPS. So theoretically, if they did issue an order of removal in absentia and they tried to deport you, they couldn't. But then you would have to file all kinds of other stuff and get it reversed. And again, why go through all that if you don't have to? Just go to your hearings, make the motion, get the order. And then when TPS would end, it would be recalendared and you would have to continue with your removal proceedings. So given that, a lot of people, what they do with TPS is they just wait. They just say, oh, I'm safe now. Nobody's going to touch me. I'm just going to go get some ice cream, relax, and, watch the ducks on the pond. Well, that's not a good idea. That is the time that you want to do something to maybe begin the green card process, to see what else you qualify for, to go in, get a consultation from an immigration attorney. Maybe you might qualify for employment-based petition, you might have a family-based petition, you might have a criminal-related victim-type petition. There might be all kinds of stuff that you might qualify for, and that take a long time. I can't tell you how long some petitions take for visa numbers to become current and then to go to the next process, and then waiting times. It takes years. So why waste time when you're here safely and the government specifically says they're not coming after you to do things? Don't you think it would be harder if the government was knocking on your door wanting to deport you to just begin an employment petition at that time? You would likely not do that. So if you're on TPS, start something on the path to the green card, so that maybe when TPS finishes or is not renewed, you'll be able to continue and maybe be halfway to the green card. Who knows? And make sure that in your court proceedings, that you don't just not appear, that you make the necessary motions to get administrative closure. Okay?